Hi guys, welcome to Origin. It's been about 20 seconds since the previous video I made, so I still don't, I've still not seen any comments that you might have posted about the Singularity and oh, it's a ridiculous idea and you're a moron and whatever. So, yeah. I'm going to argue in this video for why I think it will happen and on something like Ray Kurzweil's timeline of 2045. Let's start with, obviously, will it happen? There could be some apocalyptic event that wipes us out before that. Maybe, something to do with climate change. Maybe, we kill too much of the biosphere. It's too much warming and we're doomed. We don't innovate fast enough to get to the singularity. Maybe a meteor wipes us out. Anything could happen. But let's assume that doesn't happen. Right? Obviously I'm allowing for that possibility, and in that case it might not happen, but if it doesn't, then technology will continue to progress. Simply too much depends on it. We need to get off of fossil fuels. We need to, there's so much information already out there. We need faster computers in order to process it. And so for that reason, if you just think about how an idea progresses from being conceived to its mass production as a consumer-grade product, various different technologies have shortened that time gap. Obviously having faster transport does that. Having 3D printing is beginning to emerge. That will shorten the gap even more. AI will mean we're able to conceive ideas quicker, filter out bad ones quicker, and basically this time gap will basically shorten to the point where it's pretty much an instant, and then you have the singularity. So, I think simply the pressure to create technology that we need just to get by will get us to the singularity. I said before, I'd be quite happy for it to happen by 2045. It's an amazing idea because it would transform society completely. You would suddenly be capable of learning so much more. We would know almost infinitely more. If you just think about what you would be capable of, people used to talk about flying cars. Well, what about flying people? You could theoretically do that. You technically wouldn't even have to move through physical space. You could move through virtual space. There's an endless number of possibilities, and maybe in another video I would go into maybe just, imagination porn as to what would actually happen there. But there are some problems with Ray Kurzweil's predictions. He has been known to be wrong. At the same time, he's been astoundingly right, like he predicted the internet. His law of accelerating returns, which describes computing power over time, has held up. I don't see a lot of reason to believe that won't happen. Moore's law is due to run out sometime next decade, because we'll be shrinking transistors to the size of atoms. But he's then proposed there's another paradigm after that where we go into 3D. We start building computer chips upwards. We start, looking at getting more out of the existing technology that we have. And, he thinks it'll continue. I think research pressure will ensure that it will. But if we hit a roadblock, if his estimates for the human brain are wrong, and there's reasons to suggest that, I'll link to I guess you'd call them events that have happened. Basically, we're having trouble simulating a worm that has 302 neurons, let alone the human brain, which has 100 billion. That might be an issue. And there was a supercomputer in Japan, the K computer, which attempted to simulate, I think it was 1% of the human brain, 1 second if it took 40 minutes, and it was meant to be as powerful as the human brain. But I'll go into each of those in an individual video. Obviously I'm very scatterbrained at the moment, I'm just going over the basics, but I'll link all of those things there and you can have a look. But yeah, I would say it could be as much as 20 years off. I don't think it's likely to be more than that given the nature of exponential growth. I would say, it should happen by 2065. So you can take that as my prediction for now. I will learn more about this over time, maybe refine that estimate, but for now, that's all I've got. Yeah, so again, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, goodbye.